All right, hello everybody, and welcome for joining us for another professional development debrief. Being joined today by Katie Holding and Leah Ionnotti from Deepwood Elementary School, principal and assistant principal respectively. And they recently attended a 3-day Eric Jensen Teaching with Poverty in Mind seminar in San Antonio. And we want to just hear a few brief words about what they learned, what they're bringing back to their campus, and some resources they might be sharing too as we share everything that we did this summer. So I'm going to turn it over to Katie and Leah, give them a chance to just briefly introduce themselves and kind of tell us what some of the big takeaways from that conference were. So go ahead, ladies.
Hi, I'm Katie Holding. I'm the principal of Live Oak, and we are going to be entering our 3rd year together as an administrative team here. And we got interested in this because after reading the book with Dr. Flores of Engaging Students with Poverty in Mind, we were so struck with it that we wanted our campus to do a book study. And so as our campus was doing this the 2nd semester of last year, our teachers really started to get involved in it, wanting to know more about it. And I saw that he was doing training in San Antonio. And so when I gave that opportunity to my teachers, several of them jumped on it and wanted to go. And then we saw specifically that there was an administrator one. And so we thought that would be a great thing because it talked about how to talk to your staff about the urgency of reaching students in poverty and how to do it in a positive way, but to give them the facts of how serious this is and why we need to be doing things differently from day one versus just thinking that eventually it will get better.
Mm-hmm. So hi, I'm Leah Ionnotti. I'm the assistant principal at Live Oak Elementary. One of the biggest things that I took away from this training was how to create compelling professional development. And so he outlined several different factors that you needed to have within your staff's PD. But he said the 3 biggest factors were having the staff buy-in, compelling clarity, and making sure that there was transfer. And so he provided us with a lot of good different ways that we could follow up with our staff to make sure that they were transferring the expectations of the PD into the classroom.
Interesting. That's something that we'll definitely want to follow up with you on and look at ways we can, look at that knowledge transfer when it comes to other training too that we provide in Round Rock. So that was great to hear. Katie, you mentioned that noticing some things you're going to do different from day one, and you guys might not have had a chance to talk about this yet, but just give us 1 or 2 things that after attending that conference you think you might do differently this year starting school than you did in the past.
I think the very first thing we both talked about is what he talks about with the gaudy goals. And he believes in SMART goals, but instead of that A being attainable, he says that A is atomic. He talks about teachers and administrators who set these goals, and every year they fail at them. But they fail at a higher level than they would have ever set for themselves to begin with. So kind of failing spectacularly. And so we've already talked about as a school setting up our gaudy goal, and we actually have 2 different ones that we're really going to focus on. One of them being for STAR, because we know that that's one of the ways that we're looked at the state. And so our gaudy goal is going to be that all 4th and 5th graders at Live Oak Elementary will meet or exceed expectations on the STAR test. And then one of the other goals we're going to do is, because math being an area of growth for our campus, is that all students in grades 1 through 5 will be at or above the average level on the MComp for Ames Web. And so that's something that we're going to start right away with our teachers saying, and realizing that it's difficult, realizing that you have people that'll be like, well, you can't really do that. And the idea being, well, why not? Well, why not try? Well, and he talks about saying things like, well, isn't this a goal that we all have? And so our timing's just different. I want it to happen this year. And so that's something I think that day one, the message is going to be to our staff is that these are our goals and setting plans in place for them. And so we've talked about making these our students. And so we're going to be looking at STAR failures and having teachers in PPCD through 5th grade working and talking to our students who either didn't meet expectations and maybe still passed, or they failed STAR and we need to be working with them anyways. And so we're really going to be looking at creating an environment where our students know that they're cared about throughout the school, and it's not just the teacher that they have in the classroom, but it may be a teacher that's walking down the hallway and seeing them. And we're really going to know our students.
Mm-hmm. Another thing we talked about was having the teachers set their own GOTY goal and displaying it in the classroom, like having them come up with it during our back to school PD. And then we would give them a nice way to present it and hang it in their classroom so that there's always that reminder, and so that the kids can see that we're all working towards something together.
Great. It's great for the kids to be able to see that you guys went out this summer too, and bringing something back from your learning, that hopefully that knowledge transfer happened there as well. And we'll get to put it in place here pretty soon. Well, Katie and Leah, I want to thank you for joining us. And everybody that's watching this, there's going to be links to some shared notes and resources that Katie and Leah took at the conference, as well as some links to some of the ideas and the books that they mentioned. And all these posts, or all these interviews that we're doing this summer, are going to be put together in one post. It's going to be called the Summer 2015 Debrief, where we're looking at all the different conferences that principals and teachers and other directors from Round Rock ISD attended over the summer. I'm actually right now at the Visible Learning Conference in San Antonio with John Hattie's work, and going to be attending that this afternoon and tomorrow. So make sure that if you're watching this live or you see this today, go ahead and follow at Round Rock ISD PD. You see that right there. We'll be tweeting out some information from this conference and others that we attend this summer. So before we sign off, ladies, any last words?
I think the big thing I'd say is just making sure you build a positive culture. That was his number one message, of finding ways, either with you doing it with your staff or your staff doing it with the students, that it's all about positivity with the kids.
Very good. Positivity always prevails, right? Isn't that what
right.
Mikey Gillette told us at World Class Summit this year?
That's right.
So thank you very much, and I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.